Good morning, passport holders. Today, September 22nd, 2016, day 682 of the vlogs. And, well, I tried to lay down and go to bed at 11 o'clock, 11:30. I did not end up falling asleep until after 4 a.m. And that is in part because I just got the initiative to go and work. I mean, I laid there for almost 2 hours without falling asleep. And then at that point, just decided to get up for a little bit. Just kind of try and quiet my mind by figuring out what was on it, and then I figured out that it was work. And so I started doing some research. I executed two purchases of tools that I think will greatly help my hesitancy to write. I know that I am not a great writer. I know that I tend to make things too analytical. I write way too complexly, which affects people's ability to understand what I am saying, which is, a factor of the only times that I've written long form was basically my master's degree. And at that point, I was writing to an academic community, and it's one of those things where it's not a strength of mine. I've never had it be a strength of mine. Academia was the only place where I was forced to get better at it. And both these tools were helping me with it. And so I wrote up an email and then rewrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it last night until it got to the scores that I wanted for kind of politeness, reading level, and complexity, length of total word count, things like that, where I felt like it all of a sudden became a different thing. And when I looked at the final email versus the one that I had started with, man, oh man, what a huge difference. So yes, it took a ton of time, but it's totally worth doing. Additionally, all the little infrastructure pieces that I was putting in yesterday, all are going to help make these cold emails that I'm going to begin doing a heck of a lot more efficient. Is I'm going to go over to the Phoenix Public Library that's not too far from here, and I'm going to try and work from there for a little bit. So if I can find little pockets like the airport, like libraries, like other locations that can get me out, shopping malls is another big one with their free Wi-Fi, or restaurants. I don't know if I'm good about restaurants though, because that can get costly pretty quickly. But things like that, where I have the opportunity to work somewhere else, getting me away from the things that are comfortable for me. So my Xbox, my Apple TV, things like that, so that I force myself to do not a ton more work, but just more work.
I knew that we had a potential for rain in the forecast last night, but I thought it was going to already be blown over. It's pretty well raining here today in Phoenix. I mean, I knew it was cooler. It was only 82 degrees, but holy smokes. So it should be interesting. Before I go to the library, though, I do want to grab a snack. Probably just a Red Bull and a Cliff Bar. In order to do that, my to-do list while I'm at the library is 2 items for sure, and a third if I am really on it. The first is redoing my cold pitch deck so that it is much more legible on mobile. That is something that I really want to focus on, which basically just means changing font sizes and whatnot, but also leveraging the tools that I have for my writing now against the deck content itself. So trying to make it more clear, less confusing, things like that. Reducing the reading level down from where I write, a quote-unquote 12 plus to around a 9th grade education would be ideal. So that's what I'm shooting for there, and then doing the vlog edit. And then the third bonus item, if I get to it before I come home, is to finish up the 5 email script that I want to use for these cold outreach emails, which will all be handled using some of the tools that I bought yesterday. So I'm pretty pumped about all that. So if I can get those 3 things done today before I get back home to do the upload, I'll be pretty pumped about it. So that's the big wins that I want to get done today. A couple hours ticks by. It's a shockingly usable place. The only problem is unlike the airport, there aren't outlets everywhere, which is the reason why I'm leaving now, instead of staying here until stuff got finished. What I was able to get done was about half of the deck completely done, including a redesign. I'm continuing to tweak it just to try and make it so that it's not visually crowded. And so with me using the tools in order to make the copy more succinct, it's easier for me to then reprioritize it visually. So working through that, like I said, about halfway through. Haven't even touched the vlog yet, but my battery was dead and I couldn't get an outlet, so time for me to head on home. And it is 2 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything today, so I might as well take care of that as well, because that's a major issue for me. So I think that's the play, is that I'll eat some lunch, continue to work on this stuff, do the vlog edit, and make that all happen. I did receive a confirmation relating to my Cahoots tour tomorrow, so we'll see how all that goes as well. I initially didn't think I was going to be very interested in that, and now that I see like my productivity levels by just being in a place where not even other people are working, but people are present, and I'm away from the stuff and comforts of home, I'm thinking that an $80 investment a month is pretty quickly gonna happen.
Alright guys, so the vlog is now all edited and uploaded, so that's all done. I did a couple of caption reviews, sent those back to clients, so I'm pumped with that. I've got an hour until the football game kicks off, which I'm going to try and make a little time for. Not sure if I'm going to just sit here and you know, watch the entire game fully, you know, my attention. I may be working during it. I think that's probably the more likely route that I'm going to go. And so, yeah, I'm going to do that, but I still have to do a grocery run at some point tonight, so like I'm trying to figure that out, because like, while I have food in the house, I don't have a lot of like other things. So I don't have any juices or soda or anything else. Like, and yeah, I know I said I was going to cross some of that stuff off and just go back to a lot more water, but at the same time it is nice to have for dinners and things like that. So I'm tempted to race out and do it, but I just don't know when, so we'll figure it out. But I gotta get back on that laptop and continue to work. Grocery run.
That was interesting. That's the first time I've ever seen a pin pad completely reboot because it didn't like pins. Or it didn't like the chips and the cards. I'm not sure which way that went, but that was crazy. I had to move aisles twice, check out aisles twice in order to be able to get out of there after paying for my groceries. So, is what it is. Should be good for the next, I don't know, couple weeks. Or a week or so would be my hope on this grocery set, barring, you know, beers for the ASU game and the Cardinals game on Friday or Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, should be good to go. Now just get home, finish up the deck, and take a first crack at the email sequence. That would be my other major goal for the night. And if I can hit that, well then, I may just give myself a little extra time for Destiny tonight.
Quickly approaching 10 p.m. and things are on the up and up. So I ended up speaking with Jenna a little bit today, or texting her, I guess, is the more appropriate mode of communication we used. So feeling a little better about that situation. Groceries, which you guys saw, came back here, finished the deck, which was rad, finished Clintus's video, so that's all good. The board's completely clear, which is a good thing. So 4 videos out today, positive. Did not get an Ask Gary V, which guarantees that I will get one tomorrow, because yeah, they don't shoot on the weekends, and Gary has to get his prediction in for the Jets game, so that's happening. So I'm gonna be able to count on that, and tomorrow's actually a meh day for it. It depends on if the one channel that has an irregular schedule that I'm working with decides to drop a video, because if they do, it's like 12 to 15 minutes. It's a bit of a lengthier one, a little bit of crosstalk, things like that makes it a little bit harder. But if you pair that with like an Ask Gary V that's 17 or 22 minutes long and has 6 people in the room like they normally do now, then I could be really looking at a painful situation. Alright guys, just after midnight, and I started to look at the emails, started to go through them again, and just couldn't bring myself to look at them again today. So, good wins all the way around though, so I'm not upset about that. It's something that I can easily pick up tomorrow, while in between everything else, right? The phone calls that I have to make and the meeting that I have tomorrow afternoon. So it should be a good mix tomorrow as well. And it should be an opportunity for me to just kind of knock that out once and for all. So I'm excited about that. Um, what I did do was something that was in line with my energy level and attention. And that was, I finally went through my personal email inbox. I haven't hit inbox zero since the middle part of May. And that's basically when I, made the decision that I was going to become a, full-time business operator, founder, whatever the heck I'm calling myself in this role, running my own business, self-employed. And so I think that I lost a lot of structure when I lost the part-time gig. Yes, it was incredibly stressful, and working until 4 in the morning was not healthy either. But I need to provide some structure, and I've kind of come to that over the course of the last really week. And that's why you guys have seen me testing other places in order to see where I can work, and I'm going to test another big one tomorrow. So I'm interested in seeing how it all kinds of comes together. But as a result of over an hour's worth of work in my inbox, I am down to 2 emails in there. One is an email that I sent to myself with a to-do that I could transfer to OmniFocus, but I haven't. And that's basically because it just doesn't fit there right now, the structure that it is. I have to do more work on it. And the other one is to make a phone call tomorrow about closing a financial account that one of my former employers actually opened for me unknowingly to me. They just did it, so I gotta go close that up and get whatever cash may be in there, because it may be at nothing, so that's a thing. So I'll take care of that tomorrow, and yeah, I think I'm going to try and build in a couple other little things for me to do so that I can begin to get into a regular sleep pattern and provide more structural pieces, because it's pretty clear right now. This entire I'll get it done when it gets done, or hey, this stuff gets done as soon as it gets requested, isn't working. So I'm going to try and make it all work. But I will say thank you guys for your time and your attention. I sincerely appreciate them both. And remember, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still. So go do cool stuff. Bye for now.